Big time drama. We had big men dominate and big hugs on stage. We got it all covered for you here on NFL Game Day Final. Rhett Lewis, Steve Smith Sr., Maurice Jones-Drew, Gerald McCoy, and we had a big time headline down in Duval.
You already know what it is. Super Bowl or bust, baby. Let's go. Duval County, stand up.
Man, Travis Hunter.
All right, yeah.
Hey, man, you say whatever you want, man.
Okay.
We do it. Forget them picks. We want Travis Hunter. Let's go.
That's what James Gladstone was saying,
That's
coming
right.
from the Rams and getting there, ready to go. Did 2 quarterbacks go in this draft? Jackson Dart was the second. SHEDEUR Sanders is still waiting, and that remains one of the biggest storylines. We're going to have that for you. All coming up here for the next 90 minutes. But for now, we're going to send it back out to Green Bay and Rich Eisen.
All right, thanks very much. Here we are in Green Bay. Folks filing out of the parking lot turned into a de facto draft hall. Rich Eisen along with Joel Klatt and Charles Davis and Daniel Jeremiah. It all started off with Cam Ward, and then the first big trade of this entire draft season. Not a single first-round pick traded from the minute the season ended to the second overall pick tonight. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars trading up 3 spots to go take Travis Hunter. Cleveland winds up trading down to take Mason Graham. They've got Jacksonville's first-round pick. In next year's draft, the Giants move up to take Jackson Dart, but don't use a first-round pick in next year's draft to do it. Atlanta uses a first-round pick in next year's draft to move in and take James Pierce to give them 2 pass rushers tonight. That's the top stories. I give you the floor, Daniel Jeremiah.
I hear wild rumors the day before the draft every year, and every year we laugh about it. We get in the car on the way over to the event, and we go, guys, you're not going to believe this one. And turns out this one came true. The Cleveland Browns got out of 2. Jacksonville going up to get Travis Hunter to pair him with Brian Thomas Jr. to play with Trevor Lawrence. That, to me, I didn't think they would pull the trigger. I did not think Cleveland would do it. They did it. To me, that shows they don't view this quarterback group as special. They want to put some eggs in next year's basket, and they did that by getting a first-round pick next year.
Well, they got to sleep on a big decision because SHEDEUR Sanders is sitting right there. And Jackson Dart going in this first round, SHEDEUR Sanders not going in the first round. That's the biggest story coming out of tonight. I think we look at what Jacksonville did. I love swinging in particular for your young quarterback to get him help on the offensive side. Just so happens you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone because you also get the best corner in the draft with Travis Hunter. I really love that. But this, for me, works out perfect for Cleveland because, yeah, they might look at next year's class and think to themselves, yeah, that might be a little bit better. But not only did they stock up on draft capital with that trade, now they have the opportunity to select a guy that they probably did a lot of homework on coming into this process and a possible selection at 2 with SHEDEUR. So that's going to be an interesting overnight process for Cleveland.
I just don't think there's any choice to me if I'm Cleveland. To me, SHEDEUR Sanders right there at the top because it doesn't take you out of the market for anything down the road. If we've learned anything, the Arizona Cardinals taking Josh Rosen at 10 one year and come back getting Kyler Murray at 1 the next. That tells us everything we need to know. The money is not going to cripple you now. Go get him. But I want to get back to New York Giants. Jackson Dart coming back and getting him. You mentioned hearing wild rumors, right, DJ? We heard this kind of being whispered. It got to be louder as time went on, that the Giants liked him. And to be able to get Abdul Carter at 3 and then come back later on and get Jackson Dart. I remember that first mock draft I did, I put Dart at 3 and people were like, what is wrong with you? I just knew the Giants were so quarterback needy. Yeah, 3 was probably too high, but you can manipulate it and find a way. He fits what they want. He fits the competitive nature of Brian Daboll in a big way, who will challenge him in the meeting rooms every day as he did Josh Allen, and you saw how that worked out for Josh Allen. Let's see if the same thing holds true for Jackson Dart.
I think it's important that he doesn't need to play right away because I love his talent. I think Jackson Dart, he's got a great skill set. He's tough. He's athletic. He's got a live arm. I love all the throws that he can make. But Daniel, out of that Lane Kiffin offense, everything is schemed for you. This is why Lane's got his hands up on the sideline. Everyone knows where the football is going to go. There's very few post-snap decisions. He's going to need to develop that at the NFL level.
Yeah, he's got time, and you've got time to grow and to learn. I like the fact that he's the second pick. I like the fact that you got a premier player in Abdul Carter already on board in this draft if you're the Giants. Now you can take your time with Jackson Dart, and when he's ready, he's ready. You put him out there, his legs are going to buy time for him to figure everything else out from a schematic standpoint and some of the differences from the college game to the NFL game. If you look at the guys who've had success, the young quarterbacks who've been forced onto the field, the vast majority of them have been very mobile. They've been able to use their legs to get out of trouble, and then they start to learn and figure things out. They can do more from the pocket. He's an athletic kid.
And offensive coordinators have met them halfway. They meet them where they live now. In the old days, as we remember, son, this is the NFL. You're going to do it our way. Now we get to you and say, this is what you do well. And the last thing I'm going to say for Jackson Dart, I have a pretty good idea where he's going to be spending a lot of his offseason and summer. The Manning family. Manning camp multiple times. Arch Manning coming along right now. It's a perfect guy to work out with. And maybe some guy named Peyton and some guy named Eli might drop a few tips with a grandfather named Archie who might have a few things to say as well.
Obviously, Eli is, as we all know, Mr. New York Giant. Let's just, in the remaining time we have left, talk about the sleep on it decision that you were referring to. I mean, the Browns are sitting there at 33. Don't forget, it's part of the trade down at the top of the draft. They choose 36th overall as well. They have 2 of the first 4 picks tomorrow night. It does make sense if they did do the tire kick on SHEDEUR as much as they did, and that was a part of the narrative over the last 2 months, is that if you're looking for the right system, you're looking for the right fit. Cleveland was mentioned as that fit for SHEDEUR. Do you think the Browns will actually do that tomorrow night?
Outside of Will Johnson, who is sliding because of health reasons, guys, SHEDEUR's the best player available. And it's at the position in this league. This is a guy that is not going to shy away from the stage. I know that there's a lot coming, with SHEDEUR, but I will tell you this, and I'm going to go back to what I said earlier in the night. He went to a 1-11 program that lost 11 games by an average of 30 points. Yeah, Deion brought a lot to the University of Colorado, and as an alum, we're certainly thankful that he did. And Travis obviously did as an outside-the-numbers player with incredible instincts. The reason Colorado turned around from 1 win to 9 wins in the top 25 team was SHEDEUR Sanders, his toughness, his accuracy. When I talked about Jackson Dart and what he brought as an athletic guy with a live arm but needs to develop post-snap decision-making, you see, SHEDEUR has been in an NFL offense. He understands how to make post-snap decisions. He understands how to deal with pressure. When I'm watching him, and I haven't said this tonight, I see when it's good, he's surgical. When it's bad, he can be magical. He's got this equal parts magician/surgeon to his game that is very strong. And to me, I thought he was, of all the quarterbacks, even Cam Ward, the most NFL ready of this entire class. Now, you can debate whether the class was great or not, but he was the most NFL ready in this class.
All you can do is draft what's there and available. Just take the class in and of itself. Here's the other part. You remember the Colorado State game a couple years ago when Travis Hunter got hurt? Who went off in that ball game anyway? No Travis Hunter. SHEDEUR Sanders. Not trying to turn him into tomorrow's all-star, but at the same time, to me, there's no decision in Cleveland. The way Kevin Stefanski runs offense, you go get him. You still got the big offensive line that you continue to work with. And then I come back at 36, and I get a runner. I get a runner to go with it. I build this ball club.
There's good
and
ones
I build around. I still remember Matt Ryan going off the board with Atlanta. Thomas Dimitroff gave it Michael DeBurner Turner at tailback, came back and got Sam Baker at left tackle, and put it all into place and got going. Remember, he had Roddy White at receiver. I'm saying build around it, but to me, you go get him tomorrow, come back and get the runner, and get back to playing football like Kevin Stefanski wants in Cleveland.
DJ, you know what I would do if I was Deion tonight? You know what I'd do? Because my son is crushed right now. Absolutely devastated. Because he thought he was going to be a top 5 pick his entire year. Maybe his entire life. And tonight, that's not the case. You know what I would do? I'll go put a list of names in front of him tonight. And it would have the name Brady, Hurts, Wilson, Rodgers, Foles, Breeze, all guys that didn't hear their name when they wanted to hear their name in the NFL draft, and yet they were the ones with confetti falling on them in the end. That's the list I would put in front of SHEDEUR tonight.
Bart Starr was a 17th round pick since we're here in Green Bay, guys.
Daniel, you wanted your 2 cents on this one?
Yeah, ditto. We'll go ditto. Joel, I think, kind of laid it out there. No, to me, I just think if you're going to talk about surgeon and you're going to talk about magician, he needs to lean into the surgeon, because the magician thing is what gets him in trouble. That's what leads to some of the drifting, some of the sacks, some of the playing too slow. Embrace who you are. Play from the pocket. When you get pressure, don't go backwards, go forwards. He needs to lean into that. He is a point guard. He is not a shooting guard. And that, to me, is going to be stylistically what he needs to embrace to have success at the next level.
Well, that chip that was on his shoulder just got massively larger tonight, but that's for tomorrow night. Congrats to all 32 names that we heard here tonight, and to Green Bay for putting on a heck of a first-round show. Back here on Friday night, Rhett Lewis, take it away.
Appreciate that, Rich Eisen. Excellent work there on the main desk, night one in Green Bay. So much fun. Rhett Lewis again back here with the 74th pick in the 2001 draft, Steve Smith Sr. 60th pick in the 2006 draft, Maurice Jones-Drew, and the number 3 overall pick in the 2010 draft, Gerald McCoy. Guys, 32 players have now heard their names called. And we've had 2 teams make multiple first-round selections. Which team, Steve Smith, won the draft tonight on night one?
For me, it has to be the New York Giants, the football Giants. Getting the top 3 pick, getting someone that can impact your team immediately. And then, obviously, moving up and getting the quarterback of the future for you and for your organization. You have some veteran players with Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, but you all know that these guys are limited. Yep. You know what they can do. They can play football. But can they bring a team out of the depths of low expectations, what we know that the New York fan base is looking at with both teams? And so this Jackson Dart helps their team. Yeah. How much will he help them? Who knows? Time will tell. But at least gives you an opportunity to look forward with the current roster that you already have.
Yeah, Steve, they addressed some needs, right? Yep. You got a best player available, then you needed a quarterback. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the reason being, right? But listen, man, first and foremost.
Why'd you do that?
First and foremost.
Did you see that one coming?
Yeah, you didn't have to. My son texted me, Deuce, and was like, going to the Super Bowl. And I think that's the excitement that you want in Jacksonville, getting the best player in college last year, a guy that can both play wide receiver and play DB, and do a lot of great things for this team and this city, right? I think it's forget the play. Think of the energy he brings.
Oh,
he's out there dancing. It's positive vibes, right?
Absolutely.
And when you're going, you're going to sell a ton of tickets. But again, he can back that up. He can play. He can be a number 2 wide receiver. You don't got to be number 1. You have Brian Thomas Jr., right? So you're going to be number 2 to help out there. We already have Tyson Campbell, who's been one of their top corners. He can hop in. He can hop in and play and help out in those packages. He can return kicks and punts as well. Yep. So to me, you really, with this one pick, and I love the fact that you went up to go get your guy that you wanted, right? But the fact that you got this guy that can answer so many, or at least help with so many different holes in your team, man, that's a heck of a job, man. And again, this young GM, James Gladstone, was like, we're going to go out and get talented players. We're not going to be afraid to do whatever it takes to make this team better. He went and did that. Look at Dion. That's right. Little Duval always got you.
Good fish.
I got to go to
Bill.
First of all, I got to get to Duval Day, too. I'm going to try to get down there, Little Duval. I'll get to Duval Day. It's jumping down there in Jacksonville for sure.
Hey, no question.
Yeah.
I mean, boy, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr. There for Trevor Lawrence. Sounds like a lot of fun. Who won the night for you?
You know what? As much as it pains me, I have to go with a NFC South foe, and I have to go with the Atlanta Falcons. One thing that I believe that Raheem Morris also believes is in order to build a team, you got to get somebody who can throw the ball, that can pass the ball, and somebody who can go get the passer. And Raheem Morris has followed that mode all the way back to when he was the head coach in Tampa. He drafted Josh Freeman, and then his next 2 drafts, first and second round, the next 2 drafts, he drafted defensive linemen. Right. He did the same thing here, but what I love about them tonight is they drafted smart. I know personally that they wanted James Pierce.
Right.
But because of everything that was happening with James Pierce over the draft process, they knew he would be there. So they waited. And they got the hometown kid and Jalen Walker, who's right there. They had eyes on him all year. They got an edge guy who can go get the passer. What do? You trade up and go get the guy you wanted all along. You partner him with James Pierce. And last year, second to last in sacks, bottom 10 defense. They know they needed to go get rushers. They addressed the need and got the guys that they wanted. So if I have to pick somebody who won the draft tonight, I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons.
I have a question. The Josh Freeman pick, how'd that work out?
Oh, dang.
A long time ago, man.
I was just asking.
I'm talking about the mold. Last year they got Michael Penix. They got their quarterback, and then they went and got guys who can get after the passer.
That was a horrible analogy because that didn't go well.
Well, I'm saying the mold of how you want to build a team. Sometimes you miss on picks, but follow the mold.
It was a broken mold, buddy.
You followed the mold.
That's that Panthers-Tampa thing y'all got going on.
Let me get out the way. I don't like all that.
Look, I like the idea of doubling down on the edge rush.
I do too. I just thought
especially since you haven't had a player get double-digit sacks since 2016 in Vic Beasley. It's been a long time,
that's a long time
for the Atlanta Falcons to get after the passer in a big way, and they did that tonight with Jalen Walker and James Pierce. But this draft started at number 1 overall with the Tennessee Titans doing what we thought they were going to do all along and take Miami quarterback Cameron Ward, forever humble.
I love that.
I know what it's like
That's
to be
dope.
the bottom.
I love
Zero-star recruit from Incarnate Word to the number 1 overall pick, and this is how it sounded on the phone.
Cam, how you doing, man? This is Mike Begons with Tennessee Titans.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. You guys doing well there?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, you good? Hey, listen, as we went through this whole process here, I can't tell you how impressed we've been with you. Not only the player, but the person that you are, the leader that you are. And we couldn't think of anyone more deserving to be this number 1 pick here and to represent this franchise. So we're going to turn this pick in here and make it the number 1 pick. How's that sound?
Good.
Sound good? Listen, congratulations. Enjoy the moment. You deserve it. Enjoy this moment with your whole family. Soak it in. I can't wait to see you guys here tomorrow, you and your entire family. And we'll get ready to work here, right?
Yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow.
I want to turn you over to our owner, Miss Amy, okay?
All right.
Hi, Cam.
Hey, Miss Amy, how you doing?
Are you excited?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
We're so happy for you. We're so proud of you. Welcome to the Titans and welcome to Tennessee. Everybody's so excited.
Cam, what's up, man?
What's good, Coach?
Pretty cool moment, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, like everybody said, we're thrilled for you. It's a great time for you and your family, and I'm more concerned about getting to work when you get here. So we got a lot of work ahead, and I can't wait to get started, man.
Cam.
Yes, sir.
Hey, congratulations, man. We're excited to make you a Titan. So proud
Appreciate
of you.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a cool moment, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is, man.
Yeah,
I'm thrilled. I'm ready, man.
I know you are. Well, we appreciate you, man. We're going to turn this pick in, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
All right, so the Tennessee Titans have their quarterback. As you look now at some of the other pieces of the puzzle, obviously Calvin Ridley. And then you look at Tyler Lockett, who they just huge to a deal.
Yeah,
nice work there. Treylon Burks still working on getting the most out of that first-round pick from a couple of years ago. And then Tony Pollard still there to lead that running game. Tajay Spears as well. So when you put all this together, Steve, does Cam Ward coming in at the QB spot make the Titans a viable contender in the AFC South?
Absolutely, he does, because you already have some established players. Yeah. And then also, too, when you watch Cam Ward when he plays a little bit off schedule. So you get one of the best veteran players available at a discounted rate with Tyler Lockett, who's played with another off-schedule quarterback, which was Russell Wilson. And so, Cam sometimes was off scheduled and he kind of did a little bit too much razzle dazzle. Sometimes, learning to throw on schedule. Right. But now you have players who know how to adapt to that with Lockett. But then also you have some other players who maybe don't know how to adapt to that, but they're still going to teach Cam Ward to play on schedule. So you got a mixture of everything, and I think that's a really good opportunity of mixturing, saying, hey, this is our system, here's our player, and let's adapt and make sure we have all the pieces to help our young guy materialize, because they've seen already with Will Levis, You cannot put a square through a circle hole and think it's going to fit. Just don't work.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I'm really good friends. The head coach of the Tennessee Titans was my college quarterback and high school quarterback.
Really?
Yeah. So I got a chance to talk to him throughout this process. And one of the things when I spoke to Brian Callahan, we call him Jack, I said, how are you going to utilize this young man? Are you going to run him just straight drop back and have him reading? And he was like, no, we're going to utilize his skills. Where he's at his best, RPO game, getting the ball out quick, which I think is going to help Traylon Burks, getting him a little run after catch early on, then being able to set that up with the running game, play action pass, and getting those passes down the field. You talked about the improvising, to be able to extend plays. He does amazing with that. When he's scrambling, he's not scrambling to run. He's scrambling to throw. He's looking down the field, as we saw in a lot of that B-roll. So they have a plan for him. And that's the most important thing for a rookie quarterback. You have to have a plan for him. You have to build your offense around him. You have to add pieces around him. They signed a left tackle so they can move their left tackle to right tackle. They're rookies from last, right? So they're putting pieces. Yeah, they're putting pieces together to protect this young man, both in the passing game and the running game. And then they're going to open up with some RPO. I'm sorry I'm telling our secrets, Brian, but that's just what it is. That's how the TV game works. But understand, when you have a quarterback, you got to make sure you build around his skill set, right? And a lot of times we try to say he has to fit our system. No, your system has to fit him. I think the Titans are going to do that really well.
Yeah, and when you guys talk about building around the guy, you talk system, we're talking football. I want to talk about his psyche as a competitor. When you draft a guy number one, you want a leader. Y'all drafted Cam Newton. This guy came in, he had ultra confidence. You want a guy like Cam Ward who has ultra confidence. We've seen the clips of him and SHEDEUR going back and forth. And we seen what Cam was telling him. Hey, you need to be better doing this and doing this. And he's like, I'm not competing with you. Cam said, you need to be. That's the type of guy you want leading your team. That's the type of guy you want being the number one pick coming in. He's playing with ultra confidence. He's not afraid to make a mistake. You see how he competed last year. He's got weapons around him. When I'm picking number one and I have a quarterback, a guy of the future, yes, he's young. He's going to make mistakes, but his confidence, and he doesn't look like he can be broken. What did you see? You seen the tweet.
Yeah.
Always humble because I know what it's like to be at the bottom.
That's right.
That's the type of guy you want leading your team. So, yes, he definitely makes him a competitor right now. Competitor right now.
Jacksonville, we're a little nervous, but we got Travis Hunter, so we solid.
There you go. And look, the Titans, are going to be up in the third pick of the second round, so we'll see them in short order here coming up in the second round. And look, they lost their best pass rusher, Harold Landry, in free agency, went to the New England Patriots. Mike Green, Donovan Ezeraku, all still sitting there as they open the second round. Could be a way that they look to upgrade on the defensive side of the ball as well. All right, second quarterback didn't come off the board until the 25th overall selection when the Giants traded back into the first round to get Jaxson Dart and hoping he can help them up these passing game statistics. 15.8 points per game, second worst in the league, and then the passing yards just south of 180 yards a game. Got to get that better here. And now look at their pieces of the puzzle. Malik Neighbors, obviously sensational as a rookie, along with Tyrone Tracy, who kind of came out of nowhere as a nice piece out of the backfield for the New York Giants.
If you read my article last year, I told you Tyrone Tracy was a bad man coming out of Iowa and Purdue.
Right. Wide receiver at Iowa and then turned full-time running back at Purdue and really took off there. So you're right on that one.
Man, that's
for sure. Looking to build on that.
No, that's not you, man.
So, Steve, the question then on Jaxson Dart and on the New York Giants is, how does this look and how does this QB room materialize? Because obviously Russell Wilson's still there. Now Jameis Winston was brought in. Where do you see Jaxson Dart fitting into the picture for the Giants at quarterback?
I'll say, I'll be a transparent analyst. Who knows?
Yeah.
They just got him, 15 minutes ago? Hell, I don't know what he's going to look like. But I can assume and guess he's going to be your young quarterback, but is your general manager and head coach, are they really in trouble? Do they have time to allow this young man to develop and see what he can do? I don't know if Jaxson Dart can play in the National Football League tomorrow.
Right.
But we're going to figure it out and find out. And I just hope that the New York Giants and Coach Dayball and the organization does not try to force him into a situation where all of a sudden
trying to save your job.
You're trying to save your job at the expense of a young player. And I'm not saying that they would do that. But it's tough right now because we all know they got a strong defense, they got some receivers, they got a run game. What are they missing? Quarterback. But is this quarterback ready tomorrow? Because, I mean, they drafted him now.
Right.
So go T's and P's, thoughts and prayers, go out there.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because in, I want to say it was 2011. It was 2011 we drafted Blaine Gabbert, right? We had David Garrard on the roster. We had Luke McCown on the roster.
I forgot I was on camera.
Yeah, it's okay. But the plan was to have him sit for 2 years and then let him get going. But as the season got going, our head coach, Jack Derrill, started to feel the pressure, right? He knew we had to win now, so he wanted to make some moves. So he cut David Garrard week 1. Luke McCown didn't really perform the way he should have after week 2. And then we had to play him at week 3, and he wasn't ready. And so then you end up stunting his growth and not allowing him to learn like you had planned. Yeah. And so that's the purpose of this. Is he ready to play now? Most of these quarterbacks aren't ready to play. Right? You got to have an offensive line in front of him. You have to have multiple weapons. You have to scheme for him. He has to understand your scheme. He's coming from a place, as we heard DJ and all the guys at the draft talk about, they schemed up everything, right? Lane Kiffin throwing the clipboard up because he already knew where the ball was going. It's not like that in the NFL. You got to have post-snap reads. And so are you going to allow him the time to let him be the best player that he can be? And that's why you have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Those two guys are competing to be your starter. Is it good enough? I don't know, because right now I'm still trying to figure out how's your O-line going to play, right? That was a big issue. The O-line had a lot of O-line issues, right? And so can you figure out those things while you allow him to grow? Are you going to give him time to grow? And if you do give him time to grow, I think he's going to pan out to be your guy. But again, you just can't – I would say Eli Manning didn't start right away, right?
No, he did not. No, he did not. Kurt Warner was starting midway through the
came
season.
from SC, correct?
He started at SC.
Started at SC.
Finished at Ole Miss.
So my question is, SC, big school, a lot of lights.
Yeah.
He's going to where the most lights are.
Yeah.
Can he handle the lights? It's a lot of pressure up there with that media. You have your segue quarterbacks right now, but we live in a microwave society where it's instant gratification. I want him to be good right away.
Cup of noodle soup.
I don't know if he has that time to be able to do that. I mean, Russell Wilson, he's won in this league, but he's bouncing around teams. I love Jameis, but he's bouncing around teams. And like you said, these guys are in a tough spot right now. So like we all said, we don't know if Jackson Dart's the guy, but my question is can he handle those lights? Yeah. Because at SC, them lights got bright. He had to shake. So
well, and look, and say what you want about Eli Manning, won 2 Super Bowls, but handled the New York market.
That's the most important thing.
And it's not easy to do in New York to handle the market and that media, and they put pressure on you, and they want to win right now because they understand. The person they just lost just went and won the Super Bowl. So they not messing around right now.
And look, the Giants had to give up their second-round pick, which was the second pick of the first round, to the Houston Texans in order to make this selection. Also gave up a third round and then a 26th third-rounder. And so we won't see the Giants again until the first pick of the third round. That is 65 overall as it currently stands. So we'll see if they can do some more to support that roster on that front. So when does the next quarterback come off the board, and who is it? Is it in fact going to be SHEDEUR Sanders, who is now still available as we open the second round? Remember, this was SHEDEUR's tweet this morning.
No question.
I'm built for whatever today or tomorrow might end up bringing. And today, obviously, it didn't end up happening for him, but this was the latest from the SHEDEUR Sanders draft viewing party tonight.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is, of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary.
I like that mentality, after a tough night. Obviously waited a lot longer, still waiting. Steve, as you look at this for SHEDEUR, where do you think this happens? Obviously, the Browns are up first here at 33.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think the Browns is a guarantee.
I certainly don't either.
And the reason I say that is when you look on the board, you still have the Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins. What are they going to do?
Right.
There have been some rumors with Kevin Stefanski and Kirk Cousins. Familiarity, with Myles Garrett, just what Cleveland looks like. Is Cleveland a team that wants to continue to try to figure out what's going on, or is it a situation where they feel that they can win now? That defense is really good.
Yeah.
You know what they have at the wide receiver position, and now what are they missing? A quarterback. And I'm not saying that it's not a good pick. I'm just throwing it out and saying that is it a guarantee that the Cleveland Browns look for a young guy, or do they look for a more stopgap, thought-friendly quarterback versus developing and starting all over, especially what they went through with Deshaun Watson.
And again, the Browns actually have 2 shots early in the second round. 33, the first pick of the second round, and then because of the Jaguars trade, they also have 36, which is the 4th pick of the
when
second.
does Pittsburgh pick?
Pittsburgh, we don't see Pittsburgh until I don't see him in the second round. So
this is the thing. This is
they got a 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
6th,
So why
and 7th.
I said that is this. If you're looking at Cleveland, they have Joe Flacco. What did he do from the last time he was there?
They got Joe. That's right.
He took him to the playoffs,
Kenny
right?
Pickett's there as well.
Kenny Pickett's there as well, but Joe Flacco took him to playoffs.
Joe Flacco.
They were rolling, right? And so I think in this second round, you're probably going to see a running back taken because they got to fill a void with Nick Chubb, and they'll probably go offensive line, right? And so to me, when you're looking at a team, I think Cleveland's in a win-now mode as well. So when you're looking at a team that's in win-now mode, it's a little bit different. And I'll say this. I understand. I've been in your shoes, Shedeur. Like, I was there. I thought I should have went number 1 overall. I know people thought I was crazy, but I had calls from teams in their late teens all the way down to the 30s and didn't get picked. Sometimes you end up in the situation you're supposed to be in, right? I ended up going to Jacksonville, got a chance to learn from Fred Taylor, and was able to extend my career and do I felt like some really good things. Maybe you go to a team that is already built, right? Yeah. Maybe you go to a team that doesn't have to be rebuilt like Jackson State in Colorado. You go to a place where you're the final piece. And maybe that is Pittsburgh. Maybe that is another place where you're a backup for a little bit. They have an older quarterback, i.e. the Rams. Yeah. Right? You have an older quarterback, you sit for a couple years, you're the guy, and then you have a great career. There's a lot of options there. And so I know not getting drafted in the first round is always tough, but you're going to get drafted and you're going to be put in a situation where you're needed to be in, and you just take that and you run with it.
Yeah, everybody can't come in and be Jaden Daniels.
No.
When you get drafted that high, you need to understand that you're getting drafted to a team that is not very good. And they struggled. And they're not always just a quarterback away. Jaden Daniels came in and did something that we've never seen before.
Right.
So like you said, MJD, this might be for the best. Because he might end up somewhere that's already got all the pieces necessary in place to where he just can step in and he don't have to do everything.
Right.
But wherever he goes, I hope he goes somewhere that has an O-line that's already in place because that was a big issue for him in college. He got hit a lot, took a lot of sacks, was running around a lot trying to extend plays. Get him somewhere where he has an offensive line where he can go through his reads, get the ball out of his hand. Right. But this might be for the best because when you go to a team that high, you got to be Mr. Everything. But the second round, he might have an opportunity to go somewhere with pieces in place.
Just another kind of intriguing scenario to think about when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. The Raiders are up at the 5th pick of the second round.
Hey, can I say something?
Sure.
Nobody's ever addressed in Colorado. Like, we talk about Shedeur and we talk about the offensive line. Who's the offense coordinator? Pat Shermer? Mm-hmm. Pat Shermer's offense is god-awful. I'm sorry. It's like right there. It's just awful. I'm glad they got Brian Leftwich. Sorry. You can go proceed. I just had to get.
All right. Hey, listen, man, I'm all for it. That's what we want to hear, though. You know it, right?
Listen, you talking about them at the Raiders? That's a
good point.
Something to think about. Something to think about as we continue the draft tomorrow, starting an hour earlier, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The Browns are on the clock. Pick number 33 and beyond coming up your way. The NFL Draft presented by Bud Light right here on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus. All right, still to come here on NFL Game Day Final, wrapping up the first 32 picks. Look, taking a guard isn't always the sexiest pick in the world, but how it could bring sexy back to Dallas. Next. All right, back here with you on NFL Game Day final. Anthony Richardson gives the seal of approval to the Colts at 14.
Make sure you get him the ball.
Second tight end off the board. Well, what does Daniel Jones think about the selection of Tyler Warren?
Who?
Daniel Jones is also in Indianapolis.
You better quit playing, man. You better quit playing.
And here's how it sounded to Tyler Warren.
Tyler.
Hello.
Hey, Chris Ballard with the Indianapolis Colts, man. We're going to pick you right here. Welcome to Indy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited. I know you've been waiting around, and I'm glad we brought you in and got to know you, and couldn't be more excited to have you here, man.
Yep, I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Awesome. Hold on. Here's Coach Steichen.
Tyler, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Congratulations,
Thank you. I
man.
appreciate it.
You're a hell of a player, man. You're going to bring great toughness to our team, man, and playmaking ability. We can't wait to get you here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited.
All right.
So Shane Steichen fired up to get Tyler Warren. I think Dak Prescott's probably pretty fired up to see Tyler Booker come to Dallas. Third offensive lineman in the last couple of years they have taken now in the first round, 12th overall out of Alabama. So they're with Tyler Guyton, who they took last year. You got Tyler Smith a couple of years ago out of Tulsa. Now we get Tyler Booker along the offensive line here. All right, Steve, do you think that the Cowboys did enough tonight with that selection of Booker to kind of get this offense back on track in Brian Schottenheimer's first year as the head coach?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
They need to get the offensive line solidified, let the quarterback drop back comfortably. And then also having your running back be able to hit the holes. When you guys were talking, I was just ear hustling. You were talking about the years that the Cowboys are running the football efficiently is when they had a stout offensive line. Really didn't pay attention, really wasn't concerned, but then the more and more you guys talked about it, the more and more I was ear hustling. I kind of agree with it. So.
Listen, this is the thing. When the Cowboys were at their best, you didn't hear them ranting and raving about these picks, right? It was Tyron Smith first, and then it was Travis Frederick, and then it was Zach Martin. These were big guys.
When they got Zach Martin.
Yeah, they were upset about it. Yeah, right? It was like,
Johnny.
Yeah, they were like, it's all this stuff, right? But that's who they were, and they were dominant in the trenches.
Yeah.
And when the Cowboys were dominant in the trenches, then they drafted Zeke, right? You got Dak in the 4th round. Then all of a sudden, there was no worries. You went 13-3. They were going crazy. Then they started looking at the shiny things. Oh, we want to get this guy, this receiver, or that guy. Stick with the plan. And I love this for the Cowboys of rebuilding this offensive line and keeping to work those trenches. The more they do that, in the long term, the better they're going to be.
Yeah, when the Cowboys are at their best historically is when they have this O-line together. In the 90s, had the best O-line in football.
Great point.
When they had Travis Frederick and Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, they were the best O-line in football. And I played against this line, I'm telling you. When the Cowboys fell apart is when Travis Frederick retired.
No question.
He is what made everything go. But when they had those three amigos, with those three, it didn't matter who else played at left guard or right tackle.
Right.
Those three, they made everything go. And they're trying to get back to that. They're at their best when they have this O-line. They were putting out 1,000-yard rushes back to back to back. Darren McFadden had the best year of his career behind them. DeMarco Murray, Offensive Player of the Year, behind a great offensive line. I think this is the mold that they're trying to get back to, and they know this offensive line, when they're at their best, our team is at their best.
That's a great point. And then, even last year, they doubled up, right? It was Tyler Guyton at left tackle, then it was Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State at center. So they got a fresh, kind of homegrown offensive line with Terrence Steele still out there at right tackle. But this makes a lot of sense to try to get this run game back going, as you guys are saying, rekindle some of that success.
Because we've done the passing we've done the passing and the 4,000 yards and the 1,000-yard receiver, and it doesn't get us anything. Then we see Philly in December, and they put their foot on our throat. Can't do that.
We could still see that. Probably need that second receiver here at some point.
Yeah, you get that here now, but
12th pick of the second round is when we'll see the Dallas Cowboys up again, pick 44 overall, when we get back on the clock tomorrow right here on NFL Network. Day 2 of the draft coming your way, starting 7 o'clock Eastern time, live from Green Bay. Had over 200,000 people in attendance.
Wow.
There in the shadows of Lambeau Field, which is more than the population of Green Bay, as I recall. And so you'll see it all go down. What'll it look like on Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, live here on NFL Network. and streaming on NFL Plus.
Energy.
And when we come back,
energy,
electricity.
Look at him. Hey,
productivity
yes, sir.
at wide receiver and defensive back.
Possible return.
Transformation down in Duval when we return.
Duval.
All right, coming up, Cleveland Browns are on the clock. Pick number 1 of the second round, pick 33. You see it all unfold tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus. All right, the number 2 pick of the first round, number 2 overall, Travis Hunter, enjoying a moment, yes indeed, with his new home fans. Down there, where, Travis?
Jacksonville, the community, Duval.
Oh my God!
Let's go, man.
What?
That's the Cajun version.
Come on.
What? Let's go.
That's the Cajun version. Say,
They got you hyped.
Give us one good one.
What? Duval. There you go, right there for the people in the back.
That's what the people have been yelling tonight after Travis Hunter gets down to Jacksonville via the trade with the Cleveland Browns. All right, let's hit it up. What's it look like now on the offensive side of the ball here, JD?
Well, I think he's going to be able to play a ton of roles for them. They're going to utilize him as a gadget guy, a fly sweep guy, but you're also going to see a lot of ball skills, 50-50 balls in the red zone. You're going to see him work in the slot. Steve, you were there at his pro day. He was doing he kind of did a little bit too much, I think, of some of the releases stuff, but he gets in and out of his breaks very quickly, has soft hands, and they're going to utilize him offensively. He's going to be a guy that Trevor Lawrence is going to find a ton. Now, the offense they're going to run is going to be very quarterback friendly.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to have a lot of answers to defenses, a lot of play action pass, a lot of movement stuff to get him out of the pocket. And then you get him in space. That's what you want.
Do you think this makes it look a little bit different than what we saw from the Liam Cohen offense in Tampa, a player like this?
No, not at all.
Slide into like a Chris Godwin type role.
Well, I think there is a Chris Godwin or McMillan, right? What he was able to do when Godwin went down. But again, I don't know if he has the speed like McMillan, right? So I think you're going to see him play that intermediate short role, and then you're going to use Brian Thomas Jr. to take the top off.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to have a ton of passes. He's going to get a ton of opportunities to catch the ball, probably between that 15 to 5-yard mark. And then again, he's a guy that you can use as a fly sweep guy, a gadget guy, a bubble screen guy, getting the ball out quick. And you know that he's going to go out there and be able to make plays. He's not afraid of the moment.
No, he's not afraid of the moment. The thing that's interesting, though, is how much is he going to be able to play in Jacksonville in that heat?
Yeah.
And then also, I know he grew up. He's grown up in Florida. That's great. But playing in the National Football League and what the National Football League brings physically is going to be a little bit different than playing at Colorado. And I'm not saying that he can't do it. But I do think there is going to be a question, how does he prepare and have a whole offense and a whole defense? So I think there will be some packages for him.
Yeah.
But really, what package does he excel? I think he has an option. But eventually, at some point, I believe at some point, he will have to choose and make a decision on playing one position.
Yeah.
Because what a team doesn't want to do is have a guy playing multiple positions. If he's playing kickoff, punt return, wide receiver, and corner, so that's 4 positions. If he gets hurt, now you're down 4 guys.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, and look, I mean, James Gladstone, the GM, said it, in the news conference, Gerald. He's a first-round player as a receiver. He's a first-round pick as a corner. It sounds like they want to try that. What does that look like on the defensive side of the ball, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's saying that, but they want him at wide receiver. Now, defensively, he's got great ball skills. He's got great instincts. However, where do you put him? Do you put him outside? Do you put him in at the slot? I don't know if he's strong enough to play at the slot because he is, he's a little light in the pants. But he's skilled enough to play on the defensive side of the ball. And I think you just got to wait and see. I played and practiced in that Florida Heat.
Oh, it
sounds good.
It's special.
But like Steve
special
said,
people can do it.
Like Steve said, the playbooks in the NFL, they're not as simple as they are in college, man. And you got to know so much, and they're so dynamic. I believe he has the skills to do it, but will his body hold up? Will he be able to give everything necessary on both sides of the ball? Playing every snap, I don't see that happening, but he is good enough and skilled enough with great ball skills.
The ball
and
skills are
instincts
just insane.
to play at corner.
To me,
Hey, we don't
that
gotta
screams,
show
how
all
do we
this
get him
stuff?
his own coverage and let him have his eyes on the quarterback
Well, they
and
talking
make
about
plays on
facts?
the football? But you would love to have him help you on that last-ranked pass defense.
They weren't like that 2 years ago. But okay, this is the thing.
Does he play both? And
I think he
should they
does
let
play
him?
both, but I don't know if he plays corner. What if you move him to safety, right? On third down situation, you let him play single high
You
or the
can bring
deep
him in
field.
on defensive packages.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can put, and I think that's where you're going to get him in some packages to help them out. But to me, he's going to impact this game more at wide receiver.
Yep.
And I've always said this when I did my mock draft. It's always about, in Jacksonville, it's going to be about how can we get Trevor Lawrence to be at his best, right? And so to me, if that's the case, and that's what they've said, Travis Hunter is going to help you more at wide receiver, helping your quarterback, than he is at DB. So I think, they're going to test it out to see if he can do both. You also got to think about meeting time. How much time do we meet? We meet for hours.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? And so how are you going to split that time up? Again, you have to have a plan knowing what you're going to do with him. But I think he's going to be on that offensive side early and often because, again, that's where he's going to impact the quarterback and making things better.
And it is about, again,
It's always
supporting
about the
that investment
Yes.
with Trevor Lawrence, right?
$255 million.
Making that work down in Duval. By the way, speaking of receivers, one fan base that's pretty happy about their pick, which happened to be a receiver, the 205,000 strong, many of which were Packer fans there in Green Bay, who got the first receiver drafted in the first round since 2002. We'll hit it next.
What's up, man? This is Dan Morgan with the Carolina Panthers, man. How you doing?
Dude, I'm great. And you?
Doing great, man. Better talking to you, man. We're gonna take you here with the 8th pick, man. How do you feel about that?
Hey, I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's get it. Let's go. Clap it up. Let's go. I'm gonna pass you off to our owner. He wants to say a word to you. All right?
All right, cool.
All right, man.
Hey, T-Mac, how you doing?
I'm good. And you?
Pretty good. We're excited over here. You can hear it, huh?
Hey, man, let's get to it.
Oh, absolutely going to get to it. I think we're going to. It's like an early Christmas present, I think, for a quarterback who you know. So, I think he's going to be real excited too. Anyway,
hey, come on.
Yeah,
come on now. Hey, that Cali to Cali going to be something different.
Love that right there. Feeling like a McMillan Bucks in Carolina. Another target for Bryce Young to help keep him on that upward trajectory. That was the first wide receiver taken. The third wide receiver off the board coming from the green room to the green and gold.
I love gold.
It is green and golden in Green Bay. Very special moment for the home crowd.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver.
Listen to this crowd.
Oh, baby. Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
And he's here. And he's here.
I'll tell you what, timing is everything. You wait till the draft is in Green Bay. You go get a man for the green and gold named Golden. You can't script this any better.
I mean, it did fit pretty nicely here. You're looking at the last first-round wide receiver taken by the Packers 23 years ago. It was Javon Walker out of Florida State, went 20th overall. Of course, Sterling Sharp.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, incredible. And then now Matthew Golden, the next to catch passes now from Jordan Love. All right, so 3 wide receivers taken in the first round.
Only.
Tet McMillan, Panthers. Emeka Egbuka went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 19. And then 4 picks later, Matthew Golden goes at 23. Who's your favorite fit?
Favorite fit for me has to be Matthew Golden because of the Green Bay Packers. They generally have all these young wide receivers that they like collectively. Right. But now with Golden, he kind of steps in and I think replaces a Christian Watson, not because Christian Watson can't play, but this league is about availability. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, he's experienced a lot of injuries, whether it's the knee, is the hammy. Yeah. And so with this offense, the type of receivers they already have on the roster, Golden fits into picture perfect to replace Christian Watson. That's my humble opinion.
Yeah, if he's not able
wrong,
to go, And I mean, that's a good young core receiver.
4-2 out there, too.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, only 2 running backs go in the first round.
I was sad about that.
Really?
Yeah, I was sad. I thought it should have been
Could have been 3, but right now we got 2. Genty to the Raiders at 6.
17.
And then Omarion Hampton ends up with the LA Chargers at pick 22. Who's your favorite fit?
I thought they both went to great places, right? And I think a lot of what, just like the quarterback, the running back has to go to a place that really fits what you do well in their scheme. And I know a lot of people will say, well, Ash and Genty to the Raiders. And I think that's a great fit. But I think the best fit is Hampton to the Chargers because of their downhill and their dedication to downhill power football. That's what this young man is, right? If he gets on a track and he gets running, he is hard to tackle. Like, no one, I see guys fall off him, bounce. When he has to stop his feet, it's a little bit different. When you go to the Harbaugh zone, you look at what they've done, what Jim did at Stanford, what he did at the Niners, what he did at Michigan, and what he's doing here with the Chargers. We're going to control the line of scrimmage. We're going to run the football. J.K. Dobbins did an awesome job. Again, watch the tape. Man, when he gets his shoulder squares and he's running downhill, guys can't tackle him, right? And so this is what they want to do. Look at that. One cut. Look, he's just powering through guys. And so you have him and Najee Harris. We're going to play bully ball. We're going to say, hey, listen, we're going to run A-gap to A-gap. We may get a little bit of B-gap in there too, but your linebackers, your safeties are going to have to want to tackle these guys for 4 quarters. And imagine what that's going to look like in November, December. That's going to be tough to play that hardball type of football.
Okay, moving to the defensive side of the ball where, look, it took till like the 15th pick last year to get our first defender. That wasn't the case this year. Abdul Carter goes off the board at 3, and depending on how you want to view Travis Hunter, went off the board at 2. But, boy, we had 10 defensive linemen, Gerald, go in this draft, in this first round. What was your favorite overall defensive player fit, though?
My favorite overall defensive player is who I believe is the best defensive player in the entire draft.
Who's that?
Malachi Starks.
Ooh.
You partner him with Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore. Well, Lamar Jackson has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's been generational. They got Derrick Henry. We talk about this offense, and everybody's like, oh, they need a first-round wide receiver. This organization, Steve, you know, is built on defense. That's what they are built on. It does not matter what they're doing offensively. This organization is built on defense. You add a Malachi Starks, you are right back in the mix, being right at the top of the defense. They have a lot of great passers in the AFC. This guy is a ball hawk. He can play man-to-man. He can play in zone. And if he gets beat, he can run you down. This is the best defensive pick in the first round. Malachi Starks, man, this dude is amazing.
Another guy with big-time ball skills, too. I've seen some of those highlights of him with those interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore, they won for sure.
With acceleration and what he brings to the table.
Look, he's fitting the run game and everything.
Oh, yeah. Kyle Hamilton,
he does it all.
They became really...
And I also think those two could be interchangeable, too.
Absolutely.
He can play down in the slot as well as Kyle Hamilton can play back. A lot of times Baltimore had to put him in the box because Marcus Williams wasn't that good down there. He had to be the back safety. You got 2 guys that can go. That's special.
So another defender goes to the Baltimore Ravens there at 27. Also had Jahad Campbell go to the Eagles at 31. Again, a guy that probably we projected going higher. What do you know? Falls into the Eagles.
Winners win.
There, they move up 1 pick to make that selection for the linebacker out of Alabama. All right, more on the way as NFL Game Day Final rolls on following the first 32 picks of this 2025 NFL Draft. Phenomenal crowd experience out there in Green Bay. And coming up, the player draft calls that excite your fan base. NFL with NFL Plus. Follow the journey of future NFL stars and stay connected throughout the offseason with coverage of the NFL Draft and more. It's all in one place. Subscribe today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions do apply. Bears fans in enemy territory there in the shadows of Lambeau Field, but fired up to hear they got their quarterback a new target and their head coach a new piece to tickle his creativity.
Hey, Polson.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Ryan Post from the Bears. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good. You ready to be a Chicago Bear?
Let's go, Coach. Come on, let's go.
Let's go.
I
awesome,
appreciate
brother.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, we are gonna be great. I'm gonna hand you over to Coach Johnson now. Okay.
Yep.
Let's go. What we got, man?
Coach Johnson.
Tell me something now.
Come on now.
We cooking with hot grease now, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate
Smart,
it. Don't know what
tough,
you're getting. Trust.
Explosive. I mean, what? Yeah, I know exactly what we're getting, man.
Come on.
You excited?
Yes, sir. I can't wait. I can't wait to be a Bear.
Good.
Hey, this is Cam Williams from the Patriots, man. I got a
I got Elliot Wolf right here. He's on the line. He's ready to fill you in on some things.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, man. We're going to make you our first-round pick. You're a New England Patriot.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Here's Coach Vrabel.
Buddy, we're happy as hell, and we're excited for you. Make sure you thank everybody that helps you get here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Your parents,
No doubt.
your family, your girl. You got a great story. You're about everything that we are. So
yes, sir.
We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we'll get this thing going, and we're excited to have you, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yo, who's this?
You know who this is. It's Kenny G, man.
Are you sure? You said you're ready for the smoke. You sure?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for that heat, man.
Man, we couldn't be more excited, dude. Congratulations. We are all so happy. You really made an impression on us, and it's time to start the next chapter. Congratulations. But we look forward to seeing you, bro, and you earned it.
Hey, man, I'm thrilled you're coming down here. I've been waiting for a Michigan guy. Oh, yeah, I'm glad y'all got a Michigan, man. You got a lot of friends down, a lot of Michigan people here. You'll feel right at home, baby. We'll take good care of you. Oh, yeah.
Kenneth Grant headed to the Miami Dolphins. Michigan man Stephen Ross there talking to the Michigan D tackle. All right, coming up tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, rounds 2 and 3. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock, but the Houston Texans have 5 picks as it currently stands in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. All right, more on the way. Here's NFL Game Day Final. Rolls on. Cam Ward went number 1 overall. Jackson Dart, 25, was the next quarterback taken. Where do we see that 3rd quarterback come off the board? On what we'll discuss when we come back. Rich Eisen is running the 40 to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital once again. Tune into NFL Network, watch the NFL Draft, and see Rich and friends run. Visit stjude.org/runrichrun to donate.
Title Town has become Draft Town. Some Packers legends coming out here as well.
Jones.
And Lil Wayne is here on the bike. The fireman.
Nice. The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
And he is the first overall pick of the 2025 NFL Draft.
The Jacksonville Jaguars wanted to be bold.
Cleveland Browns have traded the 2nd pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Travis Hunter is dancing his way out of the green room.
I wanted to cry, but I can't cry right now because I'm too excited.
I've worked my entire life to be up here.
This feels almost like need, person, fit, go.
And there's Dion with Shedeur Sanders waiting to get that phone ringing.
Is this the kind of intensity you're bringing to a Bengals defense?
Definitely, for sure. Some people done messed up. For the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver.
Sometimes you just don't overthink it, right?
I can't believe this is going on right now. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed, man.
So the first round is over. Cleveland is officially sitting on the clock for tomorrow night.
What a night. Night 1 in front of 205,000 fans. 32 picks in the books. Welcome back here. NFL Game Day Final. Rhett Lewis, Steve Smith Sr., Maurice Jones-Drew, and Gerald McCoy as we get you ready for night 2 of the draft. And could be a 2nd round that is marked by quarterbacks. We have not seen it in recent drafts. In fact, guys, in the last 3 drafts, we've only had 1 quarterback combined taken in the 2nd round, and that was Will Levis 2 years ago to the Tennessee Titans.
He back on the road.
Well, that's right after the selection of Cam Ward. But Shedeur Sanders is still out there. Guys, Tyler Shuck is out there. We've also got Jalen Milroe in the green room in Green Bay.
Yes.
You could find his name called in the 2nd round. But let's start with Shedeur. And, Gerald, I'll start down here with you. We look at the Browns. They got 2 cracks at it in the top 5 of the 2nd round. The Raiders. Then you get the Saints a few picks later, perhaps still looking for a quarterback. Do you see a potential destination for Shedeur here?
I like him in Vegas. I like him in Vegas. They got Genty. They have the tight end.
Brock Bowers.
They have Brock Bowers. But I like the connection is Tom Brady. He's worked with Tom Brady a lot in the offseason, so he has familiarity there. Pete Carroll can handle everything that comes with a SHEDEUR Sanders with, all the cameras and all the this is Pete Carroll we talking about. He dealt with it at SC. He's won a Super Bowl before. And, I mean, what comes with SHEDEUR Sanders? The lights.
Yeah.
He's in Vegas, baby. I think if I'm looking at the top picks, I'm going to say it could be Vegas. I like him with the Raiders.
Vegas, 5th pick of the second round, 37 overall. Did he?
I was just going down marking kind of what I thought. You have the Saints that possibly could do it, right?
40 overall.
But the team that we talked about the Rams earlier, but the team that I think could possibly go and do it, I know this is going to sound crazy, but the Indianapolis Colts. Why not? Right?
At 13?
And why not go get it 45, go get SHEDEUR Sanders, right? I know you have this RPO offense. You have 2 guys that can run. They both get banged up throughout the year. So you're going to need a 3rd guy and let him add to that competition. That may be something that may help out the Colts as well.
Yeah.
I'm a bump up. What about the New York Jets?
Ooh.
Yeah.
At 4. And then you got the Seattle Seahawks. I know they have Sam Darnold. But they got a 2 second-round picks, pick 50 and pick 52. So I'm just looking and saying, who has a pick that they can use that it does not, that player, SHEDEUR does not need to play tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, you know there's another one? Dark Horse? The Dolphins, too.
I was going to say the Dolphins, but I was like, ooh.
Dolphins are at 16 in the second round, 48 overall.
But they just got
SHEDEUR left-handed. He's not left-handed, though. And that offense is built for a left-handed quarterback.
Just a thought. Throwing it out there. Food for thought. But I think we're going to see as many as 3 quarterbacks go in the second round. How about some draft hug analysis? That's next.
With the 3rd pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Gerald McCoy, defensive tackle, Oklahoma.
Well, as he makes his way to the commissioner, he gives him a big bear hug. It sure looks like they're walking on air out there.
Not only was Gerald McCoy a menace along the defensive front, he was a trendsetter. The first one to ever really hug the commissioner.
Oklahoma, baby.
Rattle those bones. Yeah. And now you've got your favorite hugs from night 1 of the 25 draft, Gerald.
Yeah, so, my favorite hug for tonight was not only the best defensive player in the draft, he was the best hug in the draft. Malachi Starks, look at the aggression. It started with the handshake. Then you got anytime you got the pickup, that's a great hug.
Yep.
But this is what solidified it. This is
still going.
The longest hug in draft history. So I had the first. Yeah. Malachi has the longest hug. This was my favorite hug from night 1 of the draft, and it's still going. It's still going, man. I don't think y'all understand all the emotions and everything that is running through your mind and your body when you walk on this stage. It's like, man, this is actually happening. I know me, I literally had dreams about that. The night before, I'm dreaming. Then when it's happening, it's really surreal. So my number 1 hug tonight, Malachi Starks.
I feel like we should get one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still going. That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
We got more coming up here on Gameday Final. That's.
You feeling good? Awesome. Listen, we're on the clock here. You know that probably, right? Okay. Well, I got someone here that wants to say something to you. This is Kellen Moore, our head coach. Here he is.
Kelvin, this is Kellen Moore. You are a New Orleans Saints player with the 9th pick in the NFL draft, man. We are so fired up for you, man. We have loved going through this process, getting to know you. There's no better player to represent what we're all about than you, and this is going to be an exciting time for your family. Enjoy it.
Derek, how you doing? Hey, congratulations to you, man. We're excited to have you. You're in Detroit with your family? Man, congratulations, man. We're excited about getting started. We want you to bring that big boy presence that's been on display on all that tape we looked at. My guy, But hey, congratulations to you and yours, man. We got a lot of people that want to welcome you and say hello, and then you're gonna get an opportunity to maybe address the media, and then we'll get you in Pittsburgh, PA tomorrow. How's that sound?
All right, taking a look at Daniel Jeremiah's best available players. The tremendously athletic safety from South Carolina, Nick Emanwari, leads the way with Will Johnson still in the green room along with Jalen Milroe. All right, back here, guys. Best available left that you are excited to see come off the board here on day 2. What do you got, Steve?
It has to be SHEDEUR Sanders and then Luther Broughton the third.
Burden,
Burton,
I'm gonna go Travion Henderson. I think his ability both in the running game and the passing game makes him the best player.
Man, I'm going Mike Green, man. 17 sacks last year. Somebody please come get this kid.
They're going to get
him. Need somebody
Nobody
that
with
can get
more
after these
sacks
passers.
in the FBS than Mike Green. And then Donovan Ezeraku, 1.5 sack below him
That's
from
what I'm
Boston
saying,
College.
man.
Also still available. Hey, thanks so much for being with us here at NFL Game Day Final. The fun starts again tomorrow. Pick 33, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.